Alright, hello everyone. I believe you have been hearing the word jargon and you have been wondering what is it really and why should you use it or why should not use it, and the do's and don'ts on the use of jargons. So if you are interested on that, you can stand by and continue watching this video discussion. This way, you are going to improve your language use in writing a text. Let's continue. Okay, when you say jargon, okay, maybe we can practice how it is pronounced. So we have here the suwa under this part. So this is suwa. So instead of saying jargon, it's not. So you have to say it since this is a schwa sound. So you're going to say jargon. Okay, so let's proceed. So when you say jargon or jargons, these are special words or expressions that are used by a particular profession or group and are difficult for others to understand. That is from the Oxford Dictionary. From Merriam Dictionary, it says that it's a technical terminology or characteristic idiom of a special activity or a group. And lastly, from still Merriam Dictionary, it's an obscure and often pretentious language marked by circumlocutions and long words. Okay, now there are some few things that we have to remember here when you say jargon. It's a special word or it's a special expression. Who use it? By a particular profession or group. So for example, we have here for doctors, they have their own special word. Okay, for teachers like us, we have our own special word also. For example, the word curriculum guide. So that's when you say curriculum guide, we already understand together what's that curriculum guide is. Okay, and so for other fields, they have their own special word or technical terminology. So take note of that. So when you say jargon, it's a technical terminology. And for some other group, particular group, they also have their own jargon. Okay. A jargon also is the complex language used by experts in a certain discipline or field. So in the legal world, right, for the attorneys, they have their own jargon. For those who are in the economy and so on. So for instance, there are different jargons here. For example, we have the word due diligence. It's a business term which refers to the research that should be done before making an important business decision. Okay, another for this one, owl. I think the first time that I heard this, I don't really know what is it. So that becomes even more like a jargon, no? Because if you're not familiar with that, since that is a technical term, that is a terminology exclusive only, or it's mostly known who are in the field of business, so you will not know much about it. So that's owl, absent without leave. Okay, owl is a military jargon used to describe a person whose whereabouts are known. But it's also used now not just in the military field. Then we have hard copy. It's a physical printout of a document. But now many in the business and academia and other fields know about this. So it's a technical term. It's a jargon. And then cache in computing refers to a place for short-term memory stage. Deck, okay, it's a journalism term for subheading, usually 1 or 2 sentences long that provides a brief summary of the article that follows. And then stat, it's for the medical context, that means immediately, as in call the doctor, stat. Okay, so that's a jargon for them. Then we have philosophy, phospholipid bilayer or bilayer. It's a complex term for layer of fat molecules surrounding a cell. Or a simpler term is cell membrane. Okay, so yeah, if you refer to cell membrane, I think many of us have studied about this before when we were in our elementary level or high school level. Then we have the retriever, okay, and other words like holistic, magic bullet, and best practice. One that should be adopted because it has proven effectiveness. Now, there are jargons also which could be adopted, like this one, best practice, because it has proven effectiveness. When you say it has proven effectiveness, it is understood already. Okay. Though initially it is only used in the business world. So that becomes a jargon before. Okay. Jargon is sometimes known also as lingo or argot. It's a passage of text that is full of, and when you say, when you see a passage of text that is full of jargon, you can say that it's jargony. Jargony. Okay. Now, when not to use jargons, because we have been hearing words like that, that you have to avoid jargons when writing a text in general. Or, yeah, jargons, jargons, jargons. Okay. We have to remember that jargons are special terms, which of course can be useful shorthand within a particular audience. Take note of that word, particular audience, which means in that particular field, for the doctors, for the lawyers, for the military, and so on. And may be clearest way to communicate with that group. Take note with that group. However, going beyond necessary technical terms to write in jargon can cause misunderstanding or alienation, a separation, even if your only readers are specialists. So you have to consider your audience when writing. So that comes now the reason when not to use jargons. Readers complain about jargon more than any other writing fault because writers often fail to realize that terms they know well may be difficult or meaningless to their audience. So once you use a jargon that does not belong to people who does not belong to that particular group or field, instead of informing or having the objective to inform, though there is also intention to express, the word becomes meaningless to them because they do not understand the word itself. Okay, so that's the reason why not to use jargons, because their readers may complain that they were not able to understand it because at the end of the day they did not understand it. So jargons are special terms with a specific group, supposedly. Okay. All right, so writers often fail to realize that. So you have to realize that you use jargons sparingly, especially if that what you are writing is for that field. So for example, we have the following word, involuntary indomicile. So for some people, they wouldn't understand it. But if you would say immediately homeless, okay, gotcha, homeless. Synergism. But you can simply say collaboration and it's easily understood. Ideate, where in fact you simply would like to say formulate ideas. So you have to remember that. Okay, so that is all about uh, jargons. I hope it just a short span of time you were able to understand what we are trying to say about jargon. So thank you so much. So once again, this is Explorer's Site, reminding everyone to always choose to be happy and choose to fight negativities. Thank you so much.